By graphing on your CADs, draw the graph of y equals tan x for values of x between 0 and 360. Mark on the graph any asymptotes. Well, let's look at a couple of things. I've already done the graph of y equals tan x, and you can see what it looks like, but it probably won't help us draw it that well without doing a lot of extra work with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tap back in the top window, and if I tap here, instead of a graph, I get a table of values. And if I use this XY button, what I'm going to do is go 0 to 360, and I'm going to do it at 15-degree intervals. So the tan of 0 is 0, and so I can plot that just here. Now the next one I want to look at is the tan of 45, which is 1. If I go to tan of 90, I get an error. Now, why would that be the case? We've discussed that tan x is sine x divided by cos x. And the cosine of 90 degrees is equal to 0. You know that we're not allowed to divide by 0, and that's why we get the error on the calculator there. Now you can see at 75 degrees, we're at 3.7. So that's somewhere around here. If we refer back to the graph, so if I go here and graph it, you can see that it's just going off the top of the screen there. From what we discussed down here, it should be clear that x equals 90 degrees is an asymptote. And from the graph and the table of values we had, it seems that the graph must do this. Now, if we go back to the table of values, what then happens? Well, we can see at 135 degrees that it's -1. At 180 degrees, it's 0. At 225 degrees, it's 1. If we go to 270, it's an error again. That's because the cosine again is 0 there. So we've got another asymptote here. And if I go back to the graph, you can see where that is. So we've got x is equal to 270 is an asymptote. So if we go to 105 degrees, that's going to be about here. That's just using symmetry with that point there. And we're going to get a point here. And so it seems that the graph does this in the middle. And then if we go over to here, 0 at 360 again, it's going to go through there, it's going to go through here, and the last section of graph is going to do this. So I did that by switching between the table of values and the picture of the graph.